So let's start. What is up, everyone? So today we'll be talking about should you go to university. I am Alif, one of the panel for today, uh, and with me is Cassius, or also known as Akmal.
Yes,
How are you, Cassius?
doing all right, doing all right. How are you?
Great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm hyped up.
Yeah,
Anyway, just to introduce myself a little bit, I am Alif, 23-year-old, studying law in a university somewhere in Malaysia. Yeah. So what makes I think I can talk about this? Well, actually, you don't have to listen if you don't want to, because the point is like, as I said earlier, uh, is to encourage discussion. But as a matter of fact, I went through university for 5 years already. Yeah. So just want to share my experience. That's all. How about you, Cassius?
about me. Well,
Yeah, a little bit about you.
about myself. Well, I have been to university as well. So I have some experience lah. Cakap pasal university ni. But then itulah this question kan macam orang macam tanya macam our universities macam the question always macam uh, comes macam orang terfikir macam I have a degree, I go to university, everything like that, tapi you know is it really relevant kan, is it really macam useful kan, because sometimes kita
Yeah,
tengok orang lain yang they don't have a degree tapi diorang macam successful, they make a lot more successful. What I mean is macam they make a lot more money kan.
yeah.
So itulah kan, and then kita tengok video macam Andrew Tate cakap, oh universiti ni buat orang jadi mindless slaves, you know. So di sebalik all that has been said tu, what just macam interested like to discuss lah pasal where is the truth in that, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. Nanti kita akan tengok lah.
Yeah, so that's the question for today. Should you go should you go to university? Well, the short answer by me is no, you should not go to university.
Oh my god.
And I will explain why. There's a lot of reasons. Well, some people say they want to go to university to learn. Some people say they want to go to university to advance their career. And I will tell you why. Uh, University sucks if you go for either reason. So, what do you think, Cassius,
Well,
about
okay,
yeah?
so the first thing pasal the title is slaves, mindless slaves. Do you think is there anything good yang universiti ajar kita? Let's talk about that. Apa
Hmm.
yang universiti ajar kita? Okay. What do you think? Is
Mhm.
there any like utility dalam apa yang universiti ajar kita, ataupun you want to talk about it first ataupun you nak aku cakap dulu?
Well, uh, no, I don't think there is any utility of universities unless very rare reasons, I would say, and it's definitely not for some. It's definitely not for everyone, I would say.
I see.
So, yeah, let's. I want to share a bit of my experience first before we go any further, because I was the type of guy who went to university to learn. I I didn't care about getting a job really that time. It was more about learning. I was really interested in learning, so that's why I entered into law. I studied law, right? Actually, my passion was to study filmmaking, but then I thought it was too easy. I wanted something hard because I did pretty well in school. I got really high grades So I thought I could go something much better. So I went into law. Uh, yeah, and I really wanted to learn about, because I'm very interested in law, morality, jurisprudence, whatever you call it. And yeah, so that was my intention of entering university. Uh, so I was really what you call voracious reader when during my foundation years. I actually read cases. I went through the books. I went to the library. I was a really avid reader. I enjoyed university that time. I attended all the classes because I really enjoyed it, right? But that was during foundation. When you step into your first year, it, everything is like everything changes. Uh, that is when I found out that if you go to university with the intention of learning, because you really want to learn, you will be frustrated because most classes, all the classes are just meant for exams. That so that really frustrated me. I was questioning myself, why does it has to be about exam only? You know, why can't we just learn to learn? Well, you could see how naive I was, but that's how I was thinking. You go to class, then there's this lecturer who just speaks up in class, and you, bro, if the lecturer has just read from the slides, then what's the point of coming from to class? That's not the problem with universities. The class are so boring. Well, uh, I don't mean in the wrong way. I mean like there's no discussion in classes. There's no debate. You get what I mean?
I think I get what you mean. You're trying to say dia macam
Yeah,
lack that soul, lack that spirit, kan?
yeah. So it's
Uh,
just like one way communication in classes. That's
okay.
not a problem I have with it.
But don't you think that okay, mungkin setengah classes kan, dia macam the lecturer is macam boring, just reading stuff daripada buku and everything. But pernah tak tengok lecturer yang macam bila dia explain pasal something, dia really bring the topic to life. For example, macam pernah tengok Jordan Peterson tak?
Ya, pernah?
Kan? Dia betul-betul like the book itself is like dusty and you might look at it like from another perspective macam buku tebal dia. It's just nothing. Macam just thick books, maybe you akan kalau macam kerusi you tak stable ke apa ke you letak kat bawah tu supaya dia stabilkan kerusi tu. But that's the thing. Ada some people, dia orang boleh read through this buku-buku lama, all this the literature kan, and then they can bring out the life out of it. So this is one thing that I learned lah kan, that is dia macam nak cakap waktu when I was studying kan, and then they taught us you have to write essays semua. Of course lah, mula-mula I was like so boring, what's the point of like writing this. But then later in real life I realized how important those skills are actually, writing, being able to express apa yang you nak cakap tu, you know that's why dekat kertas soalan tu dia kata use your own words. You have to be able to express your soul, apa yang ada dalam you punya your own opinion kan. I can understand the frustration because a lot of macam even waktu I sekolah dulu pun teachers kan, and you can even say some lecturers, they susah nak tunjuk, macam nak kata nak display this, nak tunjuk lah kan, bring this to life kan, you know nampak macam bila they teach you how to write, or you have to write this way, you have to write that way. Tapi I think the best way to write is actually to betul-betul express what you really believe in, what apa yang ada dalam hati you. Faham tak? And so once I started doing that, mula-mula I was a bit macam slow kan. I didn't know how to use like the proper words and things like that. But man, after that, it really helped me explain a lot of things kan pasal, if I wanted to write pasal isu, pasal topik, psychology ke whatever it is, masalah isu sekarang kan, and I'm so grateful to realize actually banyak benda yang universiti ajar, actually dia sangat useful, if you can use it, if you can bring it to life. Tapi sometimes maybe the lecturers fail to show to the students, if you can do this kan, because macam Jordan Peterson cakap lah, if you can really speak, if you can really articulate your words, if you can really put words to your thoughts, your emotions, everything kan, you can really become a powerful person. So
Yeah,
itulah. Mm-mm.
yeah, I really believe that universities are helpful in some way, but then uh, first, when it comes to Jordan Peterson, right? We can find we can find him on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to. Yeah, he's a university uh, professor, but we can find him on YouTube. So that's part of my point, that we don't need to go to university to learn. There are really other ways we can learn. Contohnya macam you said about writing, right? We want to write, but there are also other areas of life that will require you to write well. So
Sure. Tapi can you imagine macam a place that provides that sort of training, and the materials, and then you are surrounded by people who are skilled, and then you go to a university di mana you're surrounded by also apa orang kata very smart people. Bila you have that orang kata apa place to betul-betul practice it, tak ke dia macam it really brings out the orang kata apa, dia baca nak kata dia bagi you lagi senang untuk you nak practice and get better at it compared to kalau you have to search on YouTube, because YouTube memanglah ada, tapi one could also say that YouTube ni dia macam
I
a bit limited macam tu.
yeah, I get a point. I don't think so, because uh, you know, when is the time you learn the most? When is the time you learn the most? At what situation you find yourself able to level up yourself the most to the maximum experience? That it is when you are the most thirsty for that knowledge. So if you that's why, like, if you want to learn to write, but you have no real reason to write, you have no real uh, I'm writing this, so what, just so that my lecturer can read. but but it's different if you learn to write to sell, for example.
Yes, but
You Yeah, so because
uh,
when
mm,
you learn to, because when you really want to earn money, right, and you really write, you know what you want to achieve, that is when you really try, you maximize yourself to make your systems better, you improve your discipline to write well. that's
true.
that's how I see, like, the human tendency to learn. They must have a reason at the end, an aim at the end. That's
Okay,
how they learn the best.
it could be that untuk that kind of problem where people rasa unmotivated to do things is because bukan sebab university or anything else, but it could be that they just don't have a goal. Kan, if your goal is to betul-betul learn, to find the truth, and you're surrounded by professors and you're surrounded by people who are interested kan in figuring out what the truth is, in exploring the topic heavily kan, you know of course you memang, I think that they really encourage you to use your own words. They don't tell you, okay, write this to please your professor. Of course you can find in some cases like I don't know, I think tak adalah, from my experience tak adalah macam you kena tulis something tu untuk nak please your professor. Most of the time they actually want to hear you punya original opinion. And I'm sure that if you go talk to a teacher ataupun a lecturer kan, you bagi you punya own original opinion kan, they will get orang kata apa, macam semangat lah, they'll feel like macam wow, this person really macam minat, and then you can macam benda topik tu dia akan jadi hangat tau, it will bring up the discussion, dan benda tu dia orang kata apa, Macam tu lah, like I was trying to say tadi tu lah, you know, it's not that people, it's not about universities ataupun whether you're in university ataupun you're not in university. It's just people sometimes they don't have a goal and they enter university without a clear goal, kan? They don't know why they orang pilih course yang dia orang pilih tu, and then bila dia orang get out of university, you know, suddenly dia orang macam unsatisfied, you know, well maybe because they never really had a plan daripada awal. Because I have some friends who macam, okay, I know already what to expect. Here's my goals. When I go to university, I know that university ni company akan banyak hire daripada university ni. So I'm going to work this kind of job. You know, I already talked to the alumni. I already talked to the people yang dah pernah, apa orang kata, they are working, kan. Memang nampak dah the clear pathway, kan. So, diorang at the end of the day, diorang punya, apa orang kata, bila diorang buat benda tu, you know, eventually diorang akan reach diorang punya goals ataupun diorang punya expectations. So diorang, orang kata apa, because they manage to find a good path, a good strategy, kan. They have that goal and they chase that goal, then they get to where they are. It could be orang yang rasa macam diorang slave bila diorang masuk universiti ni is because they don't really know what they get into. Kan, diorang rasa the pure pressure from friends, from family, from society, masuklah universiti ni, you know, you have to be educated, you have to be ni, kan, so you have to get a good job, blah 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 blah, sekian, you know. Perhaps it's not the universities, it's the lack of goals, kan. And then, and I mean, later we can talk about lah whether the quality of university ni macam is good ataupun is bad ke. Tapi setakat ni tu je lah that I want to say.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I believe that when you have goals, everything that you do is useful to you because you are directed to a single point,
Yeah.
right? But then the question is, right now, will university serve that goal? For whatever goal it is university adequate or relevant to serve that goal today,
I
right?
guess it
So that's
depends
the
on
question.
the goals of the students, kan, ataupun the goal of the individual, kan. There are certain things, certain individual, they don't, apa yang diorang nak tu might not require a lot of university, kan. Some path might require a lot more education, kan. Want to be a
Okay, so what
doctor
goal?
ataupun, yeah.
So what goal would you consider university as a good choice to help them in their goals?
Itulah, that's the thing, kan. I mean, I can only figure it out for myself. It's very difficult to figure it out untuk orang lain, kan. So I guess it depends on the individual lah, kan. And this is what I also encourage people to do, is to be good at, orang kata apa, figuring things out, how to, you know, process information so that you know where you're going, kan. You know, I'm not
All right.
saying
So
that university ni macam perfect tau.
yeah,
There are bad courses, there are good courses, kan. You know, you take one course, it's going to lead you to a different path. You take this course, going to lead you to a different path, kan.
yeah.
So, macam tu lah.
So let's consider. Let's try to do a thought experiment here. Let's see if someone wants to go to university to get money, right? Because I'm sure like most people go to university to get and to advance their career, to have a good future ahead. I believe that's the reason why most people go to university, right? So let's try to analyze whether universities are doing good in serving that. From my
See,
analysis, no, it is not useful. It's not useful to me because I believe that there are, well, university can make you money, but it's not the best way. You know, it's like it's like yeah, you can earn money through university, but there are better ways. That's my thesis for tonight.
yes, but you also have to take into account that it's a safer place rather than being an entrepreneur ataupun going into business, because, you know,
You
it's
don't
much
have
more
to be an
risky, kan.
entrepreneur actually, um, because there's this tweet from Stephen High yesterday. He said like let me find the tweet yet first. He said that having a job and skill by 20 is okay. Sorry, he said working right after SPM, having a job and skill by 20 is 10 times better than graduating at 23 with zero experience and having a loan, plus the same starting wage of an SPM grad.
Yes, but you have to
Yeah,
understand,
so
uh, the landscape is luas. Tau. There's a generalization, there's a pattern. Maybe some people dia punya story macam tu, but some
but
people they got rich.
yeah,
Apa orang kata? I know some people who they got into university, jadi chemist, and then making quite a lot of money. Like maybe sekarang maybe dah jadi millionaire dah kot. Tak
yeah. My
silap aku
point,
lah.
my point is that there are many ways to make money actually.
Yeah.
Right now, uh, if I try to apply a job at a restaurant right now, I can get a job the next day. So there's no problem about getting money. Money is not the problem. The problem is with the society. They want things fast. They want a high salary fast, right? They want to get into a job and get 3K in their first month. So that's the problem with society. They want everything fast. When in actuality, uh, everything starts from the bottom. We climb up the ladder from the bottom, right? So
But do you think
uh,
that kalau you masuk uni kan, you can like climb a few ladders a bit higher daripada some people?
no, I think your trajectory of uh, I think your
I mean,
trajectory of progress uh, is far better, is far higher if you
mm-mm.
are learning from the ground.
ah,
That's how nature works, you know.
okay. So let's say you masuk army kan, you don't have a, you baru lepasan SPM. What rank are you think you're gonna get? Cadet ataupun private lah kan. Tapi kalau you masuk uni apa, you from university, you have a degree or something like that, you boleh jadi officer tau kalau you masuk army. See, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say that apa yang cakap tu tak
Well,
betul, but
how
the
many years
landscape, but the
do
landscape,
you need to spend in university to get the rank of officer or
I'm
whatever
not
rank
so,
it is?
I'm not so sure. Tapi talking from my, I think my stepdad, dia sampai rank captain kot, tak silap
I think
aku.
macam nak cakap pasal army ni macam is not apa relevant to many because macam they cannot really relate to it. Let's talk about like McDonald's for example, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, but tapi just one more point lah. The reason kenapa I talk about army, talk about this thing is because the landscape is luas. Some of the things yang you say, Alex, memang betul, kan? You might not need a degree to start, kan? I mean, I can think at the top of my head lah apa that is yang you tak, I don't know, maybe business ke whatever, kan? But there are certain things where if you take the path ke universiti ni, you boleh lompat a few apa orang kata, you can jump a few steps ahead of everyone else and you can get there and then you akan path you lagi jauh because I can imagine a private being a captain dia retire kan because
Well,
but if you start
yeah.
masuk dekat dalam army tu as an officer kan then you gonna retire pangkat lagi tinggi so tu lah but you know you army pun bukannya macam orang kata apa it's not like sikit orang yang masuk askar ramai actually kan yang masuk askar you know so it's sort of relevant juga to what we're saying tu je lah I'm just trying to say the landscape is luas kan so this it can help you in certain area and maybe in certain areas mungkin tak help you so much but you get what I'm saying tak
Yeah, I understand you're trying to say that university
depending
can
on your
get you.
goals depending on your goals it can help you get it faster ataupun further
Well, I say it doesn't matter the goal. You can. It doesn't matter the goal. You still the best way is to not go to university. That's what I think.
I see
It might sound bull, but uh, you see you say that um, university can help you climb up the ladder higher than everyone else, right? That's the
Depending on the
exact.
goal, depending on the landscape, depending on apa yang
Yeah,
you nak buat.
I know. That's the exact problem I have with it. Why do you have to make it fast, right?
Because
Because
kita tak ada, we don't have all the time in the world kan. Kita pun boleh hidup sampai 80 ke 70 ke. So the
yeah, but
faster we go there.
yeah, but it's not organic. You see, like a plant, right? If you plant it with, if you give it natural fertilizers, sorry, if you give it chemical fertilizers, it will grow very fast. But its future will be, but the future generations of the plant will be bad because the 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 tanah, the land will be bad that time. But if
Mhm.
you give natural fertilizers, which is organic, they grow slower, but the generation is higher.
Okay,
The
so
the next generation is better.
let's say kalau I take a degree kan, and then I manage to get macam tinggi jugalah, you know, pangkat kan, you know, ataupun I mean my mom works as a manager and she dah climb that apa orang panggil corporate ladder and, and it's quite making a lot of money jugalah kan, you know, being a manager yang tinggi-tinggi punya apa uh, pangkat tu kan. What am I doing that is negative ataupun yang tak organic, yang orang kata apa, harm the soil. So I nak tengok like, you know, what is the bad thing yang datang daripada being able to achieve that high position, I guess what I'm trying to ask.
Okay, the first thing is that you the first thing is that when you get into the workforce, you think you know everything, but you actually don't, because skills, knowledge comes with experience. Experience is the best teacher. That's what you don't get when you go to university.
Tapi you get something else tak yang you dapat bila
You get, yeah, you
orang
get something else.
uh,
Like you get some deeper insight or whatever. But you can also get that through other means, through your experience, through your years of working in that place.
I see.
So yeah, so that's what I see. Um, I think yeah, that's how growth should be. It should be organic. It should be
Or
incremental.
or or do you think that macam people can do things not just one way, which is not true? People can go to university, people can also not go to university, people can explore the different path, yeah, path. Because lain tau, what is good for me is not might not be good for you kan. Kita semua ada different skills, different potential kan. Maybe I need to choose a path that is best for me kan, yang boleh keluarkan the best potential out of me. So if kebetulan that path, kebetulan I need to go to university, then that might be better for me compared to you who might not need to go to university. Contoh lah, contoh kan. Is it fair what I'm saying? Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. I believe, although I kind of doubtful if there is, yeah, if there is any path that university is the best. Like in to be a lawyer, right? Actually, to be a lawyer, uh, there are actually two paths to be a lawyer, but people only know one path, which is to get a degree, right? That's only one path. But there's also another path, which is the path of being an articled clerk. An articled clerk means like someone who works, uh, they work as a clerk, basically, at the law firm, right? With with a with a master. They work there for several years, and after some time, they can be a lawyer, right? So that's what's interesting to me. There's um, this path of apprenticeship, being an articled clerk, or some people call it being an apprentice, or the path of apprenticeship. You be an apprentice, right? Uh, yeah, I think makes much more sense because you learn the inside out of the industry, and you actually, yes, the best part is that you earn while you learn. And I believe that earning while you learning is is the best way to advance in life. And I think like
Best way untuk
um,
semua orang.
yeah,
I see.
I I don't think that like anyone wants to go through years and years of suffering or pain, and only to realize that you will get a slightly higher salary than the average person.
Hmm.
You know, there's a interesting quote from Andrew Huberman. He's a neurobiologist, right? He studies the
Yes,
uh,
I've heard of him.
hormones of people. So, he said this. He said, nature has designed beautiful systems of pursuit and pleasure that are designed to oscillate. Let me repeat that. Nature has designed beautiful systems of pursuit and pleasure that are designed to oscillate and designed to keep us in pursuit and pleasure cycles. Basically, what he means is that the design of humans is that we are meant to go through the stage of pain, and we are after that we are meant to go through the stage of pleasure. So there's this cycle of pain, pleasure, pain, pleasure, pain, pleasure. That's what makes us thrive. That's what makes us going through each day of life. We work in the first day of the morning, we work, we wake up, we work, we go through pain. Then at the end of the day, we get our salary. That's where our pleasure comes. So
But
that
but does
that's how naturally
yep.
humans biology are, and it's the same thing with being a lawyer, with learning and trying to get money.
Mm-mm,
It's better if you actually you see the results of your labor, you see the fruits of your labor as you are learning as well. It's not many years ahead. It's not you don't have to get any debt, go into any debt.
mm-mm.
So yeah, I see like that's a more beautiful and natural way of living. You earn while you learn. You are you see the reward in front of you, and you are constantly motivated to go on in life because there's this immediate uh, result of your work. You can see it.
I see. Well, it depends kan, macam pain and pleasure. What do you mean? Pleasure could be just, oh, I got great. I scored this exam. Wow. And I mastered this subject.
Yeah,
Pleasure could
that,
also mean macam, oh my
yeah,
goodness, I can finally articulate my words. I can finally write. I can finally prove my point. Kan?
yeah.
So
That's
does
the
it
funny
as
thing.
yeah, does
Yeah.
is money the only pleasure yang ada? Kan?
So okay.
I mean, I get
Uh,
your point. Betul lah juga kan. That could be apa orang kata an interesting way
yeah.
to learn kan. Not just apa orang kata belajar, but also to earn money while you learn. I can understand why that can motivate some people who don't want to spend too much time in university belajar ni semua. They want to make money as soon as possible kan.
So let's say there is someone who loves to make pies, right? He loves to make pies. So he just make 1,000 pies every day. No one asks him to make any pies, but he loves making pies. He will go through the cycle of pain and pleasure to make pies every day. He
Mm-mm,
wakes up, bakes the cake, bakes the pie, and gets satisfied when he's able to make 1,000 pies every day. The problem is no one told him or asked him to make pies. So yeah, you could go through the cycle of pain and pleasure, but you could also delude yourself into thinking that what you're doing is real or what you're doing is beneficial. It's so it's the same as university. You're going through this cycle of pain and pleasure in university, going through exams, studying hard. and getting good A's, but no one really asks for that. No one cares about the
Oh,
Pythagorean
okay.
theorems in
I tell you a story, okay? Actually, kan, waktu I was studying degree lah kan in IT. So dia thought, diorang kan akan macam datang waktu time. Orang kata, what's that thing called? Yang waktu they try to introduce you to the university, what's it called?
orientation.
Orientation, yes, orientation. And diorang cakap lah pasal, okay, there was this one student kan. Dia punya grades dia spectacular. Dia punya extracurricular activities dia pun spectacular. Kan? So she was able to macam kau orang cakap, you know, if you go into the politics macam jawatan kuasa kan, dalam tu kan susah nak dapat grade tinggi. So it's either you, orang kata apa, masuk jadi ahli jawatan kuasa ataupun you get good grades kan. But she broke that, orang kata apa, uh, pandangan lah kan. You know, she got apa orang kata very good grades and dia punya extracurricular activities pun super. After that, dia kena apa tu, hired by a company. I forgot what company it was. Company laptop. Uh, Dell ke apa entah. Dell ke. So they actually are seeking out, like, you know, companies are also seeking out the top performers dalam university. Faham tak? So all the grades, all the extracurricular activities, they actually help you, they actually mean something. Tapi you kena compete dengan orang lain lah dalam uni tu. You know? You can't just be average and expect, oh, I'm going to get a great salary when I'm finished with my degree. Kan? It's fair.
Hmm.
Kan?
Yeah, yeah. I
Mm-mm.
think that's a valid point. Yeah,
So
but
itulah.
also then,
Mm-mm.
yeah, betul juga that if you know how to really leverage your university, then yeah, maybe it could be useful for you. Congratulations if you know how to do that. If you know how to leverage, but
Yeah. So the
yeah,
pain and pleasure is macam meaningful jugalah kan in some sense, you know.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
could say that. Though,
Itulah.
though the thing I'm trying to bring to the table today is that, and I hope everybody can take this home, is that uh, there's there are more than one ways to just to to make a living, and university is not necessarily the way or a good way. Maybe for a certain percentage of the people, they know how to make use of it, then it's good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Betul. Like I don't think that universities also are the only way to make money kan. It's evident kita pun tengok examples of people who are successful, they don't necessarily come from universities. So itulah. But bila kita cakap pasal universities ni, it's a very vast landscape kan, full of stories kan. The only
Yeah.
mistake is kalau kita ambil kita punya experience yang mungkin it's a very a sad experience ataupun a painful experience kan, and then we think that everywhere else in the university is like that. But it's not true, kan? I'm not saying that there are no sad stories pasal university ada. Cuma it's a vast landscape, you know. There's also good in it. There's also gold that you can find dekat university, not only just coal ataupun garbage ataupun crap, kan? I don't know lah. Maybe kalau you study apa gender studies ke benda macam tu, I don't know lah about that. Tapi you know, there's a lot of good courses, there's a lot of bad courses. So bila kita nak cerita pasal this kind of thing, I think it's best to like macam cerita as many different stories as we can. So in spirit of wanting to hear as much different stories as possible, any one of you guys nak say a few words, can talk about your experience kat university, how it helped you, or ataupun how maybe you regret ke ataupun whatever it is you punya opinion lah. Then you want to be a speaker ke, just request kat Alif. I have no power here.
Well, about the uh, article clerk, right? I
Yeah,
mentioned this now. What's interesting that is that the bar council is like a council of lawyers, is responsible to manage the profession, the regulations for the professions, right? So there's the bar council. It provides the way to be pro- provides two paths to be a lawyer. One is the path of degree, having a degree, and another path of is being an article clerk. But what is said is that there's only the path of degree today. There's no path of article clerk. Article clerk means like being an apprentice. But yeah, so that's the sad thing today. No one does the second path, which is the path of being an article clerk. Uh, so there's this one lawyer by the name of Fahri Azad. He is he found that the bar council is not doing enough to provide the path of article clerks to be lawyers. You see, uh, and in his article he talks about his frustration that these those who graduate from universities, they're not adept enough, they're not skilled enough to become lawyers. So he just disagrees that when you graduate from university you can be a lawyer. He says that 9 months of pupillage is not enough. And he in that article also he talks about how being an article clerk or an apprentice will help progress the industry better. But the problem is when he contacted the bar council, uh, what which institution or which law firms today that provides the path of article clerk, you know, there aren't any today anymore. There aren't any today, and that is sad. So that is sad because it could be useful to have this path of article clerkship. So what he did was he filed a judicial review against the bar council because uh, the bar council is not doing its duty as provided under the law to provide this path, right? So yeah, that's one of the sad things today. I really think that being an artic I really think that being apprentice is something that should be at least considered today.
I see. Well, itulah. Even from my experience pun, I've seen people macam I study IT, and I also seen some of my classmates who they're not really good at programming, but they manage to get good results. But when it comes to macam programming tu, bila jawab exam pandai, tapi bila nak buat kerja macam programming, they're just not as good and they need to macam ask help from other people. So it could be that when you study macam university ni kan, there are also macam nak kata people who are somehow they look good on paper tapi bila in practice kan, bila diorang nak actually buat the work, they're not so good. So I can understand with what you're saying lah, Alex. Kan?
Mhm.
Also I can understand the fact that maybe sometimes this orang kata apa, people who regulate things kan, maybe they have their own interest ataupun they have orang kata apa, they might not be as clean ataupun as fair. But who knows lah kan? I don't know anything about the lawyer world.
Yeah.
So itulah. Tadi macam ada orang masuk kan. Lepas tu, now it's just only 5 of us.
Anyone else here want to speak before we
Ta-
end?
Tadi tak ada tak ada orang request nak cakap.
Tak ada.
Tak ada
Okay. Yeah, but you know what I think about programming degree? I think it's the most useless thing in the world.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There are some stuff where, I mean, I study programming and I try to do some programming by myself. Tapi there are some stuff yang memang you need someone to teach you that. Unless you are very good at it, kan? You know, and you need a guide. Kan? Ataupun maybe it could be also macam you cakap pasal apprenticeship kan. Just need to go work at a company and then they'll teach you these things. Tapi who knows
Internship,
kan?
yeah. Or maybe
Who
just
knows?
a private one-on-one class. Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Mm.
hard to do front end development. Once you can do front end development, maybe you earn 2 to 3,000 a month. I don't know, but you could pay someone to teach you or buy a course to teach you back end development.
Yeah.
So you could, as I said just now, earning while learning, and you could progress much faster than anyone else. So that's the way I see it. If
Or
on the path of programming and coding.
yeah, that could also be one of the many paths forward.
All right. I think we can we wrap this up?
Tadi tak ada orang yang request nak cakap ke waktu aku call them out? Ke tak ada? Atau aku tanya?
Tak ada. Tadi someone Uncle Luke requested to speak, but now he left.
Kenapa kau tak accept? Tak sempat?
Tak sempat. Dia
I
request
see.
sekejap je. Tak sempat nak accept.
Yeah,
I was speaking just now, jadi tak sempat nak accept.
itulah.
Alright. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining. We will post a recording of this on other social media. So,
Yes. Also, sorry.
do we want to make a continuation of this episode?
Are you asking me ataupun asking macam
Yeah, I'm asking you.
we'll see lah macam mana kan. Sebab I don't know, maybe kalau nak cakap pasal benda ni we weren't really at orang kata apa, betul-betul macam in the mood, betul-betul like hype and inspired
Yeah.
to talk about this thing kan. Dia macam mula-mula tu macam a bit slow, took a while to really get into the mood. Tapi itulah, kalau you guys ada apa-apa feedback ke nak bagi tahu ke, we would be glad to hear, because itulah, it's been a while since we actually did a podcast kan. So maybe we're a bit rusty kan. But hopefully after this we can improve lah kalau ada apa-apa silap ke.
Alright.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Good night. Have a good sleep. Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.
Ciao.